before, it's pretty bad.
The French activist group Robin Deloy, which name is a play on the Robin Hood. They're an activist group, and they've asked the new French Minister for Justice, Eric Dupond-Moretti, who was previously a lawyer for Julian, to again ask the President Emmanuel Macron to grant Julian political asylum to France. Be interesting to see what comes of that. Hopefully he gets asylum to France.
About 1880. And it's a very interesting one.
Free Julian Assange, innocent Australian locked in the UK prison system, abandoned by his own government. Shame on Scott Morrison, shame on the Australian government. Oh mate! His mate! Julian Assange! Oh mate! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free! Julian Assange! Julian Assange! Julian Assange! There's only one decision. No extradition! No extradition! There's only one decision. No extradition! That's the free Julian Assange. Stand up for the truth. Stand up for your own freedoms. It's not just about Julian, it's about all of us. It's about Julian and all of our freedoms. We have to stand up and fight for Julian Assange. Stand up for the truth.
Poem for Julian Assange and us. My name is Stephen. A great poet? Not even. I'm known for protesting and having fun and writing poetry on the run, bad poetry. I'm not known for being a bard, because writing decent stuff, ask William Shakespeare, it's hard. I'm usually protesting against Australia's torture of refugees, but I will do something else if the circumstance decrees. There is someone who exposes our system as being a wet blancmange, and he is inmate, our mate, thank you Michael,
Julian Assange!
Julian Assange. Come on, Morrisons, what's your plan? When are you going to defend an innocent man? You've always got that little flag in your left lapel, so it's funny that you'll let an Australian hero go through hell. Good so far, eh? Come on, Scott, he's even the right colour, like all those people who vote for you down in Cronulla. Julian's suffered enough, but you want more. I'd like to see you spend 7 years in the embassy of Ecuador, and in that confinement, like some high tower, have every conversation bugged by the world's superpower. You know, when you think of Australia, what comes to mind? Dodgy politics, Morrison's big behind, the worst kind of laws, getting a free pass, an opposition that won't get off its arse. We're getting there. Or is it Crocodile Dundee? Or Iron Knob? Or is it the ABC's Four Corners doing a hatchet job? To be honest, it sticks in my gizzard to see Four Corners portraying a truth teller as a shape-shifting lizard. Someone who deserves consideration and great respect becomes the subject of ABC's special effects. Who called this out? The MEAA, Journalists Union? Our leaders? No, Mark Davis and Maria Kostakidis. Decent journalists, such as the ABC, doesn't seem to have. Where are they all? Are they in the lab? What Julian has shown us, and we've seen in our millions, the US war machine killing innocent civilians. That's why the US poodle, that set denial, is putting an Australian who has spilt the beans, blown the whistle, on trial. One more thing I want to say about this nation: Julian must be released from jail with compensation. So I can finish this long oration. One more thing: do you remember how someone called Donald said, maybe in December, how he really liked WikiLeaks? I think what he really meant to say was he liked taking a leak. We know Caligula's concentration span is very brief. He meant to say how much he enjoyed gladiatorial relief. Look, I grew up in England and I've heard John Pilger since I was a pup. With him, I really wish Australia would just please grow up. We need a country that's brave and more of a goer, more like New Zealand, Aotearoa. That means we cannot stand around in over-consuming stupefaction. As citizens, not penal colony members, we have to get together and now take action. Free Julian Assange.
Free Julian Assange!
Sorry.
Free Paul from Paddington.
Thank you.
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
There's only one decision.
No extradition!
There's only one decision.
No extradition!
There's only one decision.
No extradition!
Free Julian Assange.
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange.
Free Julian Assange! Only one decision!
No extradition!
Free Julian Assange! Julian Assange! Julian Assange! Julian Assange!
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can please have your attention for a little minute here. We'd like you to know about Julian Assange. He's a person that's been involved in internet journalism, exposing the dirty secrets of corrupt governments all over the world. As far as we know, he hasn't broken any laws whatsoever. He's been denied judicial process. He's been denied a trial of his peers with a jury of his peers. He's been smeared as a rapist, which was a total lie to discredit him in the public's eye. And I'd like to give you an example of what Julian Assange has exposed. Exposed war crimes by public officials. Terrible, terrible political interventions that have caused the deaths. Unnecessary. Or they may have been necessary, but I don't understand why. I'd like to read you out a list of interventions that have caused death and destruction since 1949. 1949, death and destruction, Greece. 1950, the Korean War.
Korea.
1952, Cuba. 1953, Iran. 1953, British Guiana. 1954, Guatemala. 1955, South Vietnam. 1957, Haiti. 1958, Laos. 1960, South Korea. 1960, Laos. 1960, Ecuador. 1963, Dominican Republic. 1963, South Vietnam. 1963, Honduras. 1963, Guatemala. 1963, Ecuador. 1964, Brazil. 1965, Zaire. 1966, Ghana. Ghana. 1967, Greece. 1970, Cambodia. 1970, Bolivia. 1972, El Salvador. 1973, Chile. 1979, South Korea. 1980, Liberia. 1982, Chad. 1983, Grenada. 1987, Fiji. 1989, Panama. 1991, Iraq. Yugoslavia. 1993, Somalia. 1999, Yugoslavia. 2001, Afghanistan. Afghanistan still going on. Afghanistan. I'd like to continue on the interventions of cause death and destruction, and I'd like to ask you what good they have done for the common man anywhere on the planet.
No good at all!
2002, Venezuela. 2003, Iraq. The Iraq War. We were here demonstrating, telling the government not to invade Iraq. We knew it was based on a pack of lies.
They ignored 1.5 million of us.
1.5 million Iraqis have probably died, not to mention our own allied forces. 2004, Haiti. 2007, Somalia. 2009, Honduras. 2011, Libya. 2011, Tunisia. 2013, Egypt. 2014, Ukraine. We can now add to that list Syria. Yemen. And Iran in the crosshairs. We have to stop these interventions that are putting repressive regimes into power. We have to let people be free from authoritarianism of all descriptions. And we have to realize the media has completely neglected their responsibility to tell the people about what the injustice of these interventions. We need to stop the wars because they create all the corruption in the Western world. A consequence, everything wrong is a consequence of the wars almost. Free, Julian Assange! Free, Julian Assange! Inmate, our mate, Julian Assange!
Inmate, our mate! Inmate,
our mate,
Julian Assange!
Inmate,
our mate!
Julian Assange!
only one decision!
No extradition!
There's only one decision!
No extradition!
There is only one decision!
No extradition! We the people can stop it. Only we can stop it. We must rise up and stand against our government's crimes. Julian has revealed them. Now is the time to act. Thank you.
Come on, tell us about Trump.
Trump.
The pardon.
Oh yeah, Trump gave out a pardon this week. I was hoping it was going to be like
wonderful pardon.
I was hoping
Very important person, he said.
Yeah, very, very important person.
Maybe it would be Snowden.
Yeah.
Possibly Snowden. Possibly Julian Assange.
Yeah, preemptive.
If we believe
pardon.
in QAnon.
Yeah, it never happened. Ended up being a Susan B. Anthony. It was a women's rights activist. She actually went and put a vote in back in. She got pardoned. It was from 1872, and yeah, she put in a vote when women weren't allowed to vote. So and she got charged for that, and that was what Trump basically. Trump basically
Pardon more than 100 years after she died.
Yeah.
And she already was on a coin or something?
Oh yeah, she's a hero.
Yeah,
She's a national hero.
She was a hero, and I've heard people say that.
It's a bit like knighting, Tony Abbott knighting Prince Philip.
Yeah, but in
Exactly
100
right.
years' time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 100 years, over 100 years ago, 150 years
Yeah,
ago.
now you've got to wait till they're dead for at least 100 years.
Yes,
That means Mike Winey won something, Julian might be pardoned.
And there were supporters of Susan B. Anthony, and they've actually come out and some of them have said that she wouldn't have liked Trump doing that anyway. Because it just goes against the whole thing.
We are all Assange.